Hey, welcome to another episode of Backed or Busted. I'm your host, Rob McCallum, aka Rob McZob. And remember, if you want us to highlight your campaign or you need help with your campaign, just drop us an email at crowdfundingspectacular99@gmail.com. Today, we're going to highlight FredHeads. It looks to be a documentary on the fandom behind Nightmare on Elm Street. So let's jump over to Indiegogo right now and take a look at the campaign. All right, here we are in Indiegogo, and we're dealing with another campaign that has a flexible goal, which of course we know from a few of our other videos that it doesn't matter if they hit the goal or not, they're going to receive a portion of the funds that they do have kind of committed to them from backers. They have 2 months left to go. They've raised $1,400, almost $1,500. They're looking for $30,000. Now, fan documentaries is something that I know a little bit about. I've been able to make a couple of them that have transformed from a fan approach to a more industry level approach. It's always what you hope when you do these things, that you get more and more industry access to do them, so it's not as relegated to just fans. But I love myself some documentaries about IP and different brands that are out there, so this seems right up my alley, and right away I feel like this could be a project that I want to back. And I'm looking at the thumbnail for the video. We got the Freddy Krueger stripe. This is obviously a documentary about the fandom behind Nightmare on Elm Street, as I mentioned earlier. FredHeads, the documentary. Let's just jump right in and see what their pitch video looks like. I'm excited. Let's go. Go, 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 go.
Welcome to FredHeads, baby!
What up, everybody? It's your boy Rockstar DJ Trey, and I'm definitely a FredHead.
I'm a FredHead.
I'm a FredHead.
I'm a FredHead.
I'm Tuesday night, and I'm a FredHead.
Hi, I'm a FredHead.
I'm Johnny Hassel, and I'm a FredHead.
You want to know who's the biggest FredHead? This girl.
No.
I'm the biggest FredHead.
No. I'm the FredHead.
No.
I'm Ricky Dean Logan, and I can tell you something. I'm a FredHead!
You get it wrong, honey. I'm the biggest FredHead.
No.
I'm Miko Hughes, and I'm a FredHead.
I'm the FredHead. I'm the FredHead.
I'm the FredHead.
Oh, you just caught me wearing my FredHead glasses. I'm sorry. I wear them all the time.
Believe it, I'm the FredHead.
It's so important to so many people. There's a weird thing. It's like you're going through your daily life just being a normal person, and then someone writes you an email and says you're important to me, and it means that you have to live up to maybe a higher ideal.
There used to be a time you didn't let anybody know you loved horror films or you loved horror novels. You were alone, kind of, because that was kind of considered, kind of weird, maybe, you know what I mean? So with inventions and whatnot, it is a place for everyone to come together and be one big happy family and go, you love horror? I do too. And you can have talk rooms and chat and talk about the films and the characters and certain whatever series you like, whether it's Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street or why you like one more than the other. So it is like a family. It's a community that has come together. You feel less alone. You know, it's like, oh, I'm not the only one anymore, you know? It's like there's millions out there that share your common interests. I'm Lisa Wilcox, and I'm a FredHead.
Hi, I'm Paige Joy. I'm the creator and director of FredHeads the documentary. What is FredHeads the documentary? It's a documentary about the fandom of the Nightmare on Elm Street world. It's the fan side of the story. It's your story, it's my story, it's all of our story. Last year, a friend of mine was telling me how this franchise really has changed his life, and I shared with him my story and how I was severely bullied growing up and how this franchise and this film really saved my life. And without this film, I would not be here. It sparked an idea. FredHeads the documentary. I knew that there were others like us out there. I knew that there were other people who had been experiencing things, whether it's going through their parents' divorce or the loss of a loved one or severely bullied. There were so many things that kind of connected this movie as a survival story. I knew there were others out there that didn't see this as just a typical slasher film. I brought the idea to Northgate Pictures and Ben Pictures, and we all agreed that we loved it. We all knew that there was a story there that we had to tell. FredHeads the documentary is following a group of friends as they discover how this nightmare community has changed not only their lives, but everybody else's. How it's brought them all to this sense of home that they consider in the community. The documentary is going to feature tons of fans from around the country who have gathered around at different conventions, as well as worldwide now that we've opened submissions. It's also going to feature a bunch of the original franchise stars as they share their stories and why the fans mean so much to them. This community has really brought us together, and I'm so thankful for it, and so thankful for each and every person who is a part of my life now because of this film. Isn't it funny that a guy like Freddie can bring us all together? So why are we doing a crowdfunding? We're about 90% done with our documentary, and that's that extra 10% that we just need a little bit of help with. We thought we would get the fans involved. We're giving away tons of stuff, such as a Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors house, custom made, signed by Robert Englund. We're also giving away a one-of-a-kind Freddy glove made by Brian Sills from Demented Glove Works, specific for the FredHeads documentary. And we're giving away tons of swag, tons of FredHeads swag. Even our Freddy's rocking our sunglasses. We're gonna have t-shirts, DVDs, baseball hats, sunglasses, even a booby traps book for behind the scenes of our documentary. And we're so thankful for you guys for everything that you have done for us, including supporting this crowdfunding. My name is Paige Joy, and I am a FredHead. Are you?
So that's the FredHeads pitch video for the fan documentary on Nightmare on Elm Street. We heard from Paige, the director, and we get a video that comes in just under 5 minutes, which again is really too long for something like crowdfunding. You really want to get 1 minute, 2 minute, 2.5 is kind of like the tops, and it's not a bad sweet spot for everything that you're trying to basically talk about and discuss. So let's just step through the video and see what works. I'm not a huge fan of this opening with Freddy here. The audio is not great by any stretch. It's not how I would grab the attention of people that are watching. We have a bunch of people for the next 45, 50... about 50 seconds that basically just say, I'm a FredHead. Now, the point is made after the third or fourth person that people are FredHeads. They never actually say what a FredHead is. One can assume, given that this is a fan documentary on Nightmare on Elm Street, that it's somebody obsessed with Freddy in that franchise, as people are dressed up like that. But that point is made really quickly and early on. It's nice to see some of the costumes, and it's nice to see some of the industry people, like the actors, appear on camera and talk. Clearly a lot of this filming here was done at a single con. Maybe there's a couple cons here, it's hard to tell, but it's all of the same ilk. There's no professional interview settings that are done. There's no other production values that we see here. It's all done more or less in the same space, which is fine. Again, this is a pitch video. Maybe they only had enough money to go out before they started raising money here and just film at 1 or 2 cons to tell their story, just so they had something to showcase. I totally get it. I respect it, and I understand where they're coming from. It's not a knock, but hey, if you get to choose from anything that you get to do and showcase for crowdfunding, you always want to put your best foot forward. So you always try to do more and more and more and more. Because frankly, anybody could do like a Jason documentary. Or a Texas Chainsaw documentary and just film it at a fan con, and it would look exactly the same as this. So what about your project here in this case makes it stand out? So as we step through the documentary here, and I'm just scrubbing through the timeline, we get this question: are you a FredHead? Again, no question mark here though, and this is a question, right? So we should definitely have a question mark, and they could have done a cool slash or something like that with Freddy's glove. So at about the 2-minute mark, we hear from the creator of FredHeads. She's really well spoken. Her name is Paige. She's dressed like Freddy. She's got nightmare attire in the background. Everything about this whole video though screams fan doc. It doesn't scream, pro high-end industry filmmaker. And again, that's fine. Sometimes what you love about this is that it is from the fans and it is a voice from the fans. But you're not going to get necessarily that well-polished, slick-looking endeavor that you get with other documentaries that are out there. And I've done documentaries on both sides of the fence, stuff that looks super fan-related and stuff that looks super high-end. And frankly, there's an audience for both. So if you want something that's high-end, it's probably not going to be this documentary. That doesn't mean that I'm not a fan of it yet. I'm throwing it out there because I'm a picky kind of filmmaker, and those little things that I don't necessarily love that are happening in this pitch video. So let's keep going here. They talk about the different rewards that are available, like this house. That's a nice little prop. This glove that's done just for the film, and then there's a few other things like sunglasses and this book on booby traps. So that's kind of cool. All in all, pitch video way too long. Not enough variety in there. We don't get to talk about anything more than the fandom. All we know is that this is a documentary from the fans about the franchise, but we don't understand what kinds of topics we're going to cover or what the journey of the film or documentary is going to be. So that is a major knock against it, and I don't know what I'd be backing, because if you're asking for my money to support it, to get like a DVD or a digital download, right now it's just based on the fact that I may or may not like A Nightmare on Elm Street, and hopefully what you put together here is convincing enough. I'm not sure it is so far. Okay, overview. FredHeads is an independent documentary, feature-length documentary about the fandom behind Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street, due out in late 2018. The documentary will take you on a journey of fandom, self-discovery that wouldn't have been possible without this cult classic film from the 1980s and its eccentric main character. So again, we don't know anything about the film yet. It just says it's going to take us on a journey of fandom, but what kinds? Are we going to go visit the ultimate Freddy fans? Are we going to go see crazy collections? Are we going to go see the props? And like, I just don't know what I'm seeing yet. I really like this poster though. This is catchy, this is 80s, I love the colors, it's professionally done. This is some great key art, and this alone could be enough to get them a sale. I don't like that the lines come up here and stop. I would like to see them come across here and just basically create like a frame within a frame. This is really cool though, I like it a lot. Would like maybe a little bit more of an outline around this FredHead so we can understand what the title says, because it is a little obscure and hidden, so maybe even bold it down here if it's like right here. So maybe bold that so that we can see what it is, and maybe center this so that if people can't see what the film is, they can at least have their eyes drawn over here. Let's go to the overview. Nightmare on Elm Street is global cultural phenomenon has given eternal life and legacy to its villain, Freddy Krueger. FredHeads is about the fans within the Nightmare on Elm Street community. As continues to thrive, it's continued to thrive for many years after the '84 release. Again, a horrible person when it comes to reading out loud. Apologies. Fans of all ages, both national and international, are invited to share their story. So are invited. Let's careful that passive voice. We invite fans of all ages, nationally and internationally, to share their story. With our central theme of how being a fan can change your life, FredHeads will feature enthusiasts of all types, passionate fanatics, aficionados, cosplay creators, artists, filmmakers, kids, and more. The documentary will also feature insight from the stars and creatives involved in the original series, exploring the enduring legacy, cultural impact, and the passion of Nightmare on Elm Street, passion of the Elm Street fan community. So this is a little bit more of what I would love to have seen within the actual pitch video up here, and even in the overview. I'm glad that it is here, but this is probably the first thing I'm going to click, because I want to know a little bit more. And if I don't get what I want from there, I'm going to read this, and that might be it. You may have blown your chance for me to have to scroll down here all the way and find out about it. So this is good that there is some thought. It still doesn't quite tell me enough about what the structure of the film is, and we know who we're going to hear from, and I like the detail in the cast kind of breakdown. We're going to hear from fanatics, aficionados, cosplayers, creators, artists, and filmmakers. A lot of those are just synonyms for other, it's synonymous kinds of people. Are we going to hear from university scholars that talk about the impact of this kind of myth or storytelling? Are we going to hear from kids that are watching it for the first time and how it affects them? Like, really break it down so it's not just like, what's the difference really between passionate fanatics and a cosplayer? On some line, a cosplayer is probably a passionate fanatic, so you're not really differentiating all that much. Here we go. Message from the director. So we hear from Paige again, creator, director, and one of the producers. Basically, Nightmare on Elm Street has done more than impact my life. It has saved my life. In the darkest of times, I've turned to Elm Street. It is a survival story. It is my best friend. It is my comfort. It is my home. This should have been in that pitch video, and this should have been the very first thing that we hear. You're telling us it has saved your life, and in the darkest of times, you have turned to it, and it is a survival story for at least for you. That hooks me because there's a human element to it. That's what you need to do right away. Traveling the country and meeting other fans and friends who all share similar stories sparked an idea. I knew there was other out there who saw this more than just a film. Just reading through quickly. Ben Pictures and Northgate Pictures have been traveling the country and interviewed various peoples from fan celebrities that represent some FredHead cultures. We have opened our submissions worldwide. It's my story, it's your story, our story. We are all FredHeads. That's great. Who's in the film? Okay, so this is where we break down some of the people. Along with our main FredHeads, these people, including herself, we have pleasure of speaking with numerous cast and crew members involved in the Elm Street series. Elm Street 4 and 5, 4, 4 and 5, 4, 4, 5. Final Nightmare, Wes Craven's A New Nightmare, 5, 4. Kruger Fan Film Series, and NECA and Shout Factory, filmmaker and artist. So this is a cool one. This is a little bit different. We don't have really anybody from the early films, so that definitely skews what we're going to get here. That's not that it's bad, because there's certainly an authority on what it is and what it was like to be in it, and they can talk about the fan culture. But I would really like to see someone from the first film, the second film, or even the third film. And these people are out there because I'm friends with some of them on Facebook, and they love doing stuff like this. So they're out there. What's on the DVD? In addition to the feature-length FredHeads documentary, the limited edition DVD will include tons of extra content. Planned special features include multiple audio commentaries, deleted scenes, bloopers, and extended footage. I don't know that bloopers really has a place in this, especially if you're making a documentary. Documentary bloopers are really more fun for the filmmakers than anybody else. But hey, it's cool to see their deleted scenes is nice. Multiple audio commentaries. That's interesting. I don't know that I go back and listen to a lot of stuff like that again. But yeah. Why should I pre-order? So this is so important. So I really love a couple things that this campaign has done already. Okay, other than some of the organization and missing information, I love the key art. I said it right away. This overview is good. The message from the director is good. I would have condensed both of these just a little bit to get to the meat and potatoes. I like that who's in the film. I would have put it a little bit lower in terms of what you have here. What's on the DVD? That's important. But again, why should I pre-order? It's so important that you mention this, because that is the central question. Why should I pre-order? Why should I back this project right now? Thank you for doing this. Pre-ordering FredHeads on Indiegogo shows your support and will help us complete the film faster. Those that order through the campaign will be the first to receive the limited editions FredHead DVD, and we ship internationally. Your money goes directly to producing the discs, which are professionally authored and manufactured with the highest amount of care taken into consideration. The number of pre-orders also helps us determine the demand. Various other perks, many of which are exclusive to this campaign, are also available. So that's cool. Basically, they're trying to raise money to produce discs, which is awesome. How will my money be used? So this is a really complicated chart because a lot of these colors are similar, and they're going for that Freddy color combination. It looks like 40% here is going to production. Post-production is this chunk. 3% is marketing. I mean, I get that it's all under here, but just trying to make sense of this pie chart doesn't make sense all that much. So I would have probably done this differently. It is nice that it's broken down here. So perks and rewards, 10%. Talent and cast, 10%. It is no surprise that the bulk is production and post-production. I would like to have seen some legal costs in here as well, because you're doing something on an IP you don't own. So there's going to be legal costs and, of course, distribution costs as well. And you talk about distribution costs here, basically producing the costs. Your money goes directly to producing the discs. That's a distribution cost. Maybe they're just considering it post-production or marketing or perks and rewards, but it is kind of a distribution cost. Thank you, FredHead crew. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of their Boiler Room Hearts for see, this is nice, because now we're getting into stuff that the fans will recognize. The Boiler Room, Freddy's kind of lair. Really cool that they're putting some of that vernacular in there. I would have liked to have seen more of it through here. Even if you're unable to pledge a document, you can still support by sharing the link with your friends. We always love to hear from fellow FredHeads, so please visit the documentary page on Facebook. Find out how you can submit your story. I'm actually curious about their page on Facebook, so I'm just going to go over here and see what we got here. They have over 1,500 people that like it, but when I go up here, they've only got 11 backers. Now, I don't know how long this has been running, because I just jumped over to Indiegogo, and it was the first thing that grabbed my attention because I have somewhat of a connection to the franchise, like I said, given some of the people that were in the project that are on my Facebook. But that's surprising, 1,500 likes on their Facebook and only 11 backers. So we will share this campaign link with them and see if it helps a little bit. Select a perk. So they have a featured perk here, and that's a really nice thing that you can do on Indiegogo. You can put up front and center the perk that you think should be featured and advertise the most to people when they jump to your page. It's $100, a little pricey. I would never probably do something that pricey to feature, because it's kind of a turnoff, because it's sticker shock. Screw Your Pass is what it's called. And it's nice that you can always put these little images in illustrations as part of the perks. Kickstarter doesn't have something like that, so that's very cool that you can do that over here on Indiegogo. $100. Okay, Screw Your Pass. T-shirt, DVD, limited edition pins, and your name in the end credits. So it's not bad. Again, not a huge fan of T-shirts. I've said it a million times. Check out my other videos if you want to hear that diatribe again. It's just hard with two different genders, sizes, and screen printing to get it right. It's while it might be cool for some people, it's not a winner for me. It would be cool to see Fredhead across it. I have no idea what this looks like. I didn't see any images of the t-shirt over here. I'm just not convinced it's the way to go. Okay, let's go down the list now. Let's count the number of perks, the rewards. They call them perks here. Let's count them so we can see what we're dealing with. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 sold out already, and then 20 for the featured one. So that is way too many perks as well. I know that when I start going through these, we're going to be able to eliminate some of them or suggestively remove some. You really are going to create consumer confusion when you have that many. They're going to go back and forth, try to compare. So $5. It's basically a thank you and a social media shout out. Make this $1. And what is this $10 50% off thing? This is a shout out. It would never cost $10 to get a shout out. Not from a campaign that only has 11 backers. I would rework that. You wonder why nobody has claimed that. $10. You basically get the pin. Not a huge fan of that. They've only got 30 of them. Nobody else is a fan either. I think that's way too much money for a pin, something that's easily lost. And I don't want to pay for shipping on something like that. So there you go. $25. DVD of Fredheads in high def. So it's a DVD, so it's probably not going to be in high def. It's going to be in standard definition. Plus many bonus features, and in English, which is nice. This pledge includes the making of the documentary, so there's a behind-the-scenes featurette, which is nice. It's not going to be in high def, and unless you're, I don't want to get into the technical mumbo-jumbo, but chances are if it's feature length, it's not going to be in high def. It's going to be in standard definition. So is it going to be on Blu-ray? Lots of questions there. $25. It's a fair price for it. There's 5 people that are backed that. Good on them. $35. T-shirt and digital download. Why don't we just have a digital download tier? I didn't see one of those. I just went from $5, which is a shout out, $10 to a pin to $25 of a DVD. And here we've got just a T-shirt and a digital download of the film. I think they could have introduced a digital download at the $10 level and got rid of the pin, and then that would have been better. And they could have probably pushed a lot of those units out there. So missed opportunity, I believe. Mind Over Matter, $50. Digital download of the film and your name in the credits at the end of the film. Why does a $50 reward not include a physical copy and the end credits? So, okay, lots of questions going on here, and now I'm starting to get upset, and it's hard to back this project. $75, screw your sleep. You get Fredheads limited edition pin, a DVD, plus a t-shirt, and no digital download. So the fact that some of these rewards have downloads and some of them have discs is really confusing. In a campaign like this, and I've run several film campaigns, you never kind of take away something as you go forward in terms of the version of the film. If you're going to give away a digital download of the film, you always kind of include that going forward, more or less, because people are willing to pay more, so they should kind of get what everybody else is getting. Plus, if for some reason there's a delay in the manufacturing, at least you can give your backer a digital copy. My goodness, missed opportunity there, and that's a $75. Then we jump right up to $150. The Need for Speed. In this, you get the limited edition pens, you get the digital download, you get the DVD, you get Fredhead sunglasses, an original Wishmaster lobby card. There is only 25 of these. This is the only one that I've seen, I think, that allows you to have both the DVD and the digital download. So for $150, I get both of them finally. Not a cool move, guys. Losing a lot of confidence there. $200. Every town has an Elm Street. Actually, so many towns do have an Elm Street. That would be an interesting thing to chronicle, getting fans all over the world. Can you find an Elm Street in your town? And then just put a little snippets and put pins on a map or something like that. Social media shoutout. Limited edition pin, digital download, t-shirt, and 4 more items, which are DVD, Fredhead sunglasses, Elm Street sign. Oh, okay. You would think something like that would be up front more. It is not. Interesting. And again, there's no pictures of that, so I have no idea what that sign looks like. Diorama Rama, thanks to our social medias. Pins, DVDs, blah, blah, blah. So here we go. Okay, sorry, I clicked on some stuff there, and Indiegogo really redirected me around there. I thought I wanted to get something. I was just trying to see the 4 more items. on Diorama or the 3 more items, and it got messed up there. Limited edition Brett Bartnick diorama showcase your Freddy figures in style. Okay, again, we don't have a picture of that, so anytime that you're going to try to do stuff, I know some of this stuff was featured in the video, but you should include some images over here. Ain't Gonna Sleep No More, $350. They're saying it would cost $500. Basically, like, this is just getting out of control. Nice hearing you from you, Carlos. So again, Back to the Future replica shoes signed by Ricky Dean Logan. I'm just so confused on some of these things here. Like, when you're jumping up new tiers, so the items included, don't put like the new stuff last because I can't see them. So all of these look the same. This looks the same as this here. It looks the same as this there. It looks the same as that. Like, put the new stuff first and put it in caps if you've got to. Oh God. Okay. T-shirt, DVD, limited edition pin, social media shout out, film soundtrack, behind the scenes footage, only available to backers, FredHeads poster, custom Nancy Thompson Funko Pop. Okay, again, no images, more like finger knives. $1,000. We get co-producer in the end credits. You got to be careful about that because that could affect a lot of things in terms of where it gets screened and what countries and what that means and how that could affect your different deals. So there's some distribution knowledge that you guys got to bring into that when you offer that up. One Fredhead exclusive glove signed by more like finger knives Screech. I don't know what that means. Are you ready to be Nancy again? T-shirt download. There's just way too many. Like, it's killing me here. Never Sleep Again. Robert Englund award signed. Like, I get that they seem to have a lot of perch and stuff like that, like, or merch. Like, it just, I don't know. I'm so confused by all this stuff. I'm getting frustrated and it's angering me. I want to love this campaign so much and I want to help out, but I can't even get a digital copy of the film, and I really don't want to spend $25 to get shipping on this limited edition DVD that's going to come out in a year's time. I'd rather get a digital version, and clearly there's going to be digital versions out there. Why is this $70? Is a t-shirt for a digital download? It's like 50% off, so it's $70. And I would just peg a digital download at $10. I mean, you can put whatever value you want on it, that's for sure. But if that's $10 for a digital download, does that mean a t-shirt costs $60? Yikes! What kind of t-shirt is that? Is it threaded with gold? Not a huge fan of that. We got more backers now. So in the time that we've been doing this, we've had some updates. We've had 11 new backers, so that's good for them. Let's look at the comments. Cool stuff. So we get updates. Not a single update. Yikes. That's not good. Backers, you can see who it is, anonymous, and what people have pledged. You can see more backers. Someone who took the 750 house, at least, yeah, right here. Sean Malone took it. You can see more about Sean if you want. You want to target him with some of your campaigns, since he's a bit of a big spender. Again, this is flexible, so they're going to get whatever they can raise in that time. I'm going to hold off for now. And again, this is backed or busted. I'm going to say this is busted. And the only thing that busted this was the consumer confusion on the reward side. There's way too many going on. It's not discernible enough. There's not enough images for the stuff that they're offering up. I know I like the overview and that story side of the campaign, how clean and smooth it is. But there's got to be a way to include some images of the stuff that you're offering up for several $100s to get me excited, especially if you're trying to target fans of this stuff. They're going to want to see what this stuff looks like if they're going to plunk down that kind of money. Again, I know that there are some in this video, but it's just not quite enough to get me excited and to plunk money down. And more than anything, there should be a digital download of the film unless you have a compelling reason that ties to your story about why you only want to push DVDs. But considering you have a digital offer in the $35 tier, it should be up there earlier. Maybe this is something you can add later and make it a big push, but you need to do some work on your awards, and with a lot of them having no backers, you have the flexibility to change how that works. So I would And you know what? This might be a cool idea. You got no sleep here. Maybe you can team up with a coffee company and have that part of it. Get them to give you some samples. They can ship them to you. And for, Never Sleep Again, include a package of coffee just for fun. You don't have to make money off of it, but it's tied to the series. So I think that would be a nice little perk that you can do. So right now, I have to officially say that this campaign is busted. And I really hope the creators, take a look at this video and they make some changes, and maybe I'll come back as a backer. Until then, I'm Rob McCallum. If you need help with your crowdfunding campaign, reach out to me, crowdfundingspectacular99@gmail.com, or on Twitter @RobMcZob. We'll see you guys next time.